This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Garen mid lane is being locked in at the LCK stage in today's game of League of Legends. Hi everybody, hope you're all having a great day so far. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. And yes, this video is no joke. If you guys have been living under a rock lately, Patrick Star, Garen has been played as a mid lane counter pick, not a blind pick, but a counter pick to Nasus mid lane in the LCK. It has been featured today recently in the recent games being played by Genji, being locked in by Chovy. Originally I was going to make a video covering that Chovy was actually practicing Garen mid lane solo queue, but now we're at the present timeline where he's actually just going ahead and locking in the champion on the LCK stage to take on Nasus mid lane, which has been an interesting surfacing pick for certain mid laners in LCK. And it's just so strange that here we are in 2024, Season 14, where it's a Juggernaut mid lane versus another Juggernaut mid lane. But why Garen versus Nasus? I can kind of go ahead and formulate that the reason why Chovy is picking Garen mid lane versus Nasus is because of Garen's Q, right? Nasus's Wither is really, really good at locking down targets. And since mid lane is the center point of the map in League of Legends, it's very easy for mid lane to get assistance from all sides of the map. If Nasus has a little bit of assistance in tandem with W, it's very easy to lock down and kill that said target. If Garen has a slow cleanse on his Q, for example, on a very accessible 8-second cooldown, then that means technically if Chovy is managing his cooldowns correctly, there's no feasible way for him to go ahead and lock down Chovy. On top of this, Garen has a true damage ultimate, he's got armor reduction, so it could be a 1,000 to 2,000 stack Nasus. It doesn't matter if Garen is taking away half his armor, leaving him to be vulnerable to being melted by a 3 auto attack ADC. Let's go ahead and show some clips from the recent game from DK versus Genji. I just found it to be super interesting that Chovy's playstyle is Conqueror with Teleport. Now, Teleport is a very, very popular summoner spell in the LCK right now. I don't think that's going to change. Pretty much all solo laners are taking Teleport, with some very few exceptions. But it's interesting too, because I think like 99% of Garen players take Conqueror on Garen. We almost never see Phase Rush. So it leads me to the next question, which is, are we ever going to see Garen players diversify in a competitive environment using different summoner spells on Garen? Because like, as much as this playstyle is really cool, it makes me really wish that Chovy would try out Phase Rush Garen, because this versatile, resilient playstyle where he's able to escape ganks because he has in-kit slow resistance, in-kit tenacity, right? It can be further amplified with the use of Phase Rush to grant a speed boost and slow resistance at the same time, and the synergy with Stridebreaker is ever so more abundantly clear that it would prove to be valuable in this type of team comp. Like, let's look at this team comp, for example. We have Misfortune, we have Poppy, we have Ivern, we have Olaf, we have Nasus. Phase Rush works versus almost that entire team comp. I understand that they have like 3 melee champions plus Daisy, right? So there's a little bit of Conqueror synergy here. But imagine the aggression that Chovy will be able to put out even by himself in a 1v4, 1v3 environment by just having Phase Rush. There's technically not enough lockdown for this team to be able to lock down Chovy with Phase Rush if he times his W correctly and avoids walls with Poppy. But looking at this game here, Chovy's piloting of Garen seems to be really on point. And using Teleport, yes, is a little bit questionable in solo queue. However, in a competitive environment where he can coordinate with this team, there's a lot of plays that could be made here, right? So let's look at this potential tower dive here. They're looking to go in on Chovy, which I think is absolutely disastrous, by the way. Like diving at Garen at full HP, who can just armor shred, which in turn amplifies turret damage. Yeah, kind of a little crazy here. But, we got Daisy coming around the corner here. They're trying to really lock him down. Obviously, it's taking 3 people to lock down this man, which is kind of crazy. But look at the pressure that he's drawing, too. Laning phase is probably going to be really boring versus Nasus, because if Nasus plays the wave manipulation, carefully, he can just go in and freeze the wave in front of a tower. That's the thing. Another thing, too, is I'm probably suspecting that Chovy's just going ahead and maxing spin to get priority for mid lane, wave clearing. But the only issue with that is that in order to win versus Nasus, especially early, you need to focus on short trades, where what facilitates that type of playstyle is Phase Rush with Qmax. So I don't really think that Chovy really went for that. Again, I really feel like that he has just basically slightly begun to pierce the veil when it comes to Garen mid lane. You know, obviously that this is a specific counter pick for the Nasus mid lane going up. So it remains to be seen, will Chovy use Garen in the future versus other picks? Like, is this going to be a counter into Talon, Kiana, Katarina? I don't think we're seeing too many assassins mid lane, but could Garen mid return if we do see assassins on the LCK stage? Because Garen doesn't only counter Nasus technically in this type of environment, he also completely destroys assassins. So I'm really excited to see Garen in the future, but just seeing him mid lane, after all these years of advocating this pick, you know, it started with Season 9, Garen mid lane. Faker picked it up, but like to see it finally in Season 14 as a counter pick, and seeing Garen enter a competitive environment once again without the gosh darn cat, it's just really cool to see. You know, Garen, as you guys know, is a very basic champion, and I love him to death. But he's never really had a competitive home. But I think with how Chovy is showcasing Garen right now on the LCK stage, Garen mid might be solidified as his competitive identity, and it makes me all the more excited to see when he's going to get locked in next, or if other teams are going to adopt this pick to be able to take on certain picks such as Nasus. Okay, so I want to point out as well that Kim is also locking in Garen when Nasus is being locked in top lane. So Garen's adaptability as a counter between mid and top is really, really flexible. But I think that this is the biggest example where I'm stressing the importance of phase rush, because I do think that as much as Garen is vulnerable mid lane, he can be especially vulnerable top lane, and especially in a situation where Talia can go ahead and ult in, and Vi can go ahead and ult in as well. It does leave a lot of lockdown opportunities for Garen. So even though we do see Kim get a significant lead here top lane, I really do wonder, you know, if they're going to continue using Conqueror here. It's just really, really cool. So it looks like wherever Nasus surfaces, it looks like Gen G is responding with Garen, whether it be top or mid. So looking to see that Chovy and Kim can both go ahead and lock in Garen is really, really cool to see. And having the champion on their roster in their champion pool is just really, really cool. I think, like, since Garen is so easy to pick up, I would not be surprised if other teams basically follow suit here. And of course, since a lot of other regions study the LCK to basically adapt their own champion pools, I would not be surprised if other regions start incorporating Garen into their champion pools, especially if the followed suit of Nasus showing up mid lane and top lane does appear to be the case as well. So honestly, it's going to be really cool to see. You know, LCK could very well be the birthing pool, for example, and seeing Garen worldwide on all competitive stages. You know, I don't know if it's happening with Nasus at the moment. I have to do a little bit more research. But, like, to see the Juggernauts coming out on the stage to be able to duke it out, this is really, really cool stuff. So, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about Garen entering the competitive stage, both mid lane and top lane? Do you guys think that other teams should pick up Garen, especially in the threat of Nasus surfacing as a competitive pick? You guys think that Garen's going to get nerfed because he's showing up on the stage in 2 different roles? This is really, really cool time to be a Garen main, but there's a lot of debate and discussion as to what Garen's future is going to be, especially when he surfaces in a competitive environment. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. I hope you guys have a great, great day. Thank you so much for supporting me, especially to my Patreon supporters at patreon.com/RISTE, where you guys can get access to my exclusive Garen matchup spreadsheet. And that's just about it. Thanks for tuning in, gamers. I'll see you later. Demacia, baby.